Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's been like almost a month since I have uploaded anything. So a little recap of what's been going on. I finished the truck. Truck drives great, runs amazing. I have it listed for sale and it's actually been really slow. Haven't had a ton of interest in it, but with that being said, still have it listed, have a few interested potential buyers, and the situation that I'm in is until it sells, I can't necessarily buy something, another project. I think it is still worthwhile to run through what I look for when I'm buying a crash damaged car and to look at some potential future rebuilds that I want to do. So we're gonna get this all set up. I'm gonna hop over here onto Copart and I'm gonna kind of run you through what I look for with specific cars. We're gonna look at the different damage types. So if somebody wanted to go on to an online auction and look at things, they would have a general idea of what to look for. And another aspect of this is it's not always just, okay, what's the biggest and baddest thing we can rebuild? Like, obviously I have goals and there's things I want to repair and rebuild, but there's also a lot of stuff that I think it's fun. Like, you could get things that are cheaper, sometimes can be just as fun as rebuilding maybe a $50,000 car, finding a cheap daily driver to fix and give away or flip or anything like that. So anyways, that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with this next little bit, is to show you what I'm looking for, what I want, looking at the damage, assessing the damage, and then of the options, most likely I'll buy one of them. Like I said earlier, I've got a couple leads on the truck, so I'm thinking hopefully within the next 1 or 2 weeks it's sold and I can have my next project within this month. With that being said, let's finally get looking at Copart. Okay, let's take a look at some cars. So on the screen here, you're gonna see, so this was one of the first ones I was looking at. So it's a 2020 Subaru WRX STI. Now, currently I have a Subaru, just a little Impreza that I daily drive. Awesome, great car. I actually think Subarus are great. A lot of people give them a bad rap, but I think their little WRXs and STIs are actually really fun, cheap, entry-level little sports cars. And I've been in a WRX before and I think they're really sweet. Now, this first one. So I actually bid on this and I thought I won it. I was in Florida about 2 weeks ago on a vacation with my wife. I bid on this car and the winning bid was $5,100, but it was a reserve one. So if you don't know anything about Copart, what they will have, a car like this. So there's a 2024, it'll say upcoming and it'll say pure sale. So there's pure sale, minimum bid, and then there's reserve. So pure sale, whatever the ending bid is on the live auction, that's what it sells for. Goes to you, you pay shipping, you pay Copart fees, it's done, that's in your driveway. The second option is minimum bid. So the seller or the insurance company can set a minimum price that they want for the car. So let's say for this car, it's worth $26,000. Whoever the insurance company is that has it, they maybe want $8,000 for it. So they can put that listed as a minimum bid, and you can sometimes buy it now for that price immediately, or you can wait till the live auction and bid on it. Then the last one is a reserve price, pretty self-explanatory. It has a reserve. If it doesn't meet that reserve, or the insurance company has 1 day to accept or decline that offer. So what I look for in cars, first thing I always check for is fluids on the ground. Now, as you can tell, this one has had a pretty good front end collision on both sides. It's pretty damaged, hood's damaged, fender. This fender looks okay. This fender looks okay, but there's no fluid on the ground, which is good. It's not a run and drive, which to some is a big risk, but this one caught my eye because if you look right here, there's no battery. When you try to start a car with no battery and you just hook up jumper cables to the positive and negative leads, it doesn't make a full circuit. It's not gonna allow the car to turn over. Sure, you're gonna get power, like you see here. There's gonna be power inside the car, but it will not turn over. So this is why I bid on this car, because I have had this experience before. My first truck that I didn't film a lot on, same thing, didn't run and drive. When I bought the report, it said it turned over. It all it needed was a battery. One of the cells inside of the old battery was dead. And so when we put a jumper pack on it, it pegged the battery charger, so it wasn't even charging. Tossed a new battery in, fired right up. That was super cool. And I think this would have been a similar situation. Now, where the damage becomes scary is right here. So if you can see right there, that is part of the frame rail, and the frame rail attaches back here. And this crash bar is not a big deal. This is easy to fix, but you would probably need a frame machine or need to splice that frame in both spots or get it pulled. And when I look at these, I like to look at, okay, what tools and things do I have immediate access to? Sure, I have my dad's shop. He's got plenty of tools, lifts, car lifts. I've got tools. I could disassemble this thing easy, but doing that frame, it's a big gamble. So I was actually a little bit relieved when they didn't accept the offer. So anyways, it went back to auction. Somebody bought it for like $9,000. That's a little bit more than I think it's worth to bite off and chew at the moment with that frame damage. Who knows? Maybe the frame damage is not as bad. I also don't think this one was sold by an insurance company, which is not my favorite thing as well. So anyways, that is one of the options that I didn't end up winning, but I did bid on it. So let's look at another. Another one that I've had my eye on has been Elantra N's. Now, I know what you're saying, it's a Hyundai. That's so lame. I've actually driven these cars a couple times and they're pretty fun. They have a little peppy 2-liter 4-cylinder turboed motor. They have a really nice interior. I think they look super, super clean. You got paddle shifters. You can get automatic or manual. The manual's really fun. They have a little bit of a sporty look. So this is one that I'm kind of watching. As you can see, it's just got fender damage here. No wheel. Says it has undercarriage damage. Sounds pretty good. Doesn't look like it has been leaking oil or anything. That one's not bad. That one could be an option. I think those would be kind of fun. Now let's look at another one. So I have always wanted an F80 M3. Now, I know everybody wants one. They're super cool. They're a timeless car. This was one that I watched, but their retail values are crazy. So might be something to bid on in the future. Now, this one is interesting. And some of these cars, it's tricky when you look at a car like this that's stripped because one, who has the parts? Two, okay, if a body shop dismantled it, did they give the parts back? Are the parts in the trunk? As you can see, some of the parts are here. Actually, most of the parts are here. Headlight, that headlight's damaged, side skirt, bumper. So all this stuff will come with the car. Sounds good. It looks like it's been a little bit modified, which is an okay thing. That's a whole nother thing, is buying modified things. I personally would stay away from it. This truck that I bought recently was modified, and it's been fine. Something that I look for anytime I'm buying a new or used car is, especially something crashed or salvage title, is, okay, if it's been modded, what mods are done? Are they mods that are gonna limit you on registering the car or anything like that? Where this looks just like an intake, it's probably not a big deal. But if you saw like a car with a big giant turbo kit or a big giant supercharger or complex piping or other things, you know that car has probably been ragged pretty hard. I mean, this is also an M3, so I'm sure it's been ragged pretty hard, but it looks like stock exhaust, bumper tabs look pretty good. Yeah, it says it's rear end. Panel gaps look good. That's a huge thing I look for, is these panel gaps, especially with front end collisions. You can see this one probably wasn't in any sort of front end damage. Now, why the bumper's removed, I have no idea. A little bit of scratches, not too bad. I watched this one today. This one went for $20,000. If it's actually worth 53, I think that's a decent deal. So hopefully in the future, we're doing an M3, an F80 M3, or a G80. Even the new ones, I love them, but they're so expensive. Okay, another car. Here is another one. This is a 2016 Mustang GT, 45,000 miles. Primary damage is the front end. Secondary damage is mechanical. Now, sometimes people will list primary and secondary damage. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. See how the ground is all dark below this? I bet somebody ran it and it has damage. If it's undercarriage or mechanical damage, I bet there's an issue with the motor. So yeah, look at this. This is all oil or coolant or both. And it looks like this car's been modded quite a bit. And so I bet something right up here's damaged. The motor could be damaged. The oil pan could be damaged. So this one I'm going to steer clear of. They have a cheap buy it now price, but its retail value is pretty low for the parts and what you're going to pay. Don't think I'm going to be looking at that. I think they're cool. I do really want to do a Mustang or like a Shelby. So let's look at some other ones. So this is actually one that I am interested in as well. So it's 5.0 Mustang GT 2018, pretty low mileage, runs and drives. Sounds great. I think that sounds so good. Has a, I think it's a coolant reservoir or something. Has an intake on it. But like it's got all the shroudings. That's sweet. Beautiful interior. Super cool car. Looks like it's had some front end damage. Crash bar looks okay. Headlight looks decent. That headlight looks okay. The bumper looks okay. Or not the bumper. The hood looks okay. So a bumper. So like for instance, this one if I wanted to buy. Let's go to eBay. It's like a 2018 Mustang GT front bumper. This is where your rebuilds are going to either tank or do well, is you're going to have to look at all the parts, the structural parts, body panels, lights, bolts, like little things like that add up so quick. And a car like this where it's mass produced and a common performance one, there's going to be parts everywhere. So that's a good thing. So like this, you can buy, yeah, a 2018 and 2023 Ford Mustang GT500 style bumper. This would be super cool. Take like a regular GT and turn it into a GT500. Looks like a super nice kit. Good reviews. 300 bucks. Easy. Front end's done. Go back here. Let's look at the rear bumper. I think I'm gonna bid on this. I don't know why they would write this off. That's another thing that's always so interesting with these cars is why they write them off. It always makes you skeptical, like, okay, is there hidden damage? Is there something I should know? But like, this is a run and drive, runs fine. Airbags are not deployed. That's another huge thing, airbags. Yeah, I want to do a Mustang. I've never been a huge Ford guy, but I actually really like the Mustangs. I think they look good. I think if you do simple, clean things like a wing, nice bumpers, maybe some side skirts, paint match, like whatever, but if you just keep it simple, they look really cool and they're powerful. It's a good platform. Yeah, this looks sick. Cool. Could be an awesome option. Let's look at some more of my casually a 2020 M4 CS 911 Turbo. That's gone. This one's gone to auction like 3 weeks in a row. Mustang GT, that one we already talked about. Here's one. So this is another STI. This is an example of one that's probably been modded quite a bit. Super clean interior, looks super good. Here's the damage. Now, this would probably be a good buy because sometimes with these you can just literally pull off that fender, and if the inner structure or the apron's not damaged, or if it is, you can replace that apron, replace the fender. That could be a good option. That's sick. I love this color. So this is, I think this was an exclusive WRX color, and this is one of the last years they made them. That's also why I want to do an STI, is because they don't make them anymore. And I think the future STIs are going to be electric, which is lame. And these are just fun cars. They're quick, they're light, fairly powerful. This is sick. This is a cool one. Could be a good option. We'll be watching that one. This is an ultimate sleeper. For those who know, the RCF, you know. Such a clean and powerful, you got a 5-liter V8. You've got Lexus, which is owned by Toyota. So you've got the Toyota reliability. Look at this interior. So clean. And they're super powerful. This one runs and drives. I think they look so good. And especially around here, nobody has an RCF. I actually saw a Lexus IS 500 today driving, and I was like, that's a really cool car. I should get one of those. Okay, we are back. Didn't quite finish up yesterday. Wanted to come back here today and run through a couple more cars that I am looking at. And then I've had a couple small little updates on the truck sales process, so that's coming along really nice. So let's get into it. Okay, so what you're gonna see on the screen is another dream car. Now, there's a lot of people who hate on the new Supras, but I think they look so good. This is something that could be potential in the future. So Honestly, a couple of these like the damage on this one's not too bad. Front end damage. Doesn't look like it's a run and drive. Could be a pyro fuse, could be something simple. See, these are the ones that are really good finds because if you look at it, 2021, not sure on the mileage, could have fairly low mileage. Decent retail value. It's a pure sale. Airbags are blown, so most likely there's a short somewhere with the starter. So could be a really good option. Okay, so let's get back on track. Let's look at one more car that would be actually closer to like the $15,000 range. Okay, this will be the last car. So this is also something that, so I've watched a couple of these Corvette Z06s in the past, and they've gone for anywhere between 15 to 25, depending on the mileage, the damage, engine running and driving, the trim. So this one actually super clean. So Z06 2012 looks super clean, has some damage to this passenger side quarter panel, which could be repaired. Expensive parts. This front end looks okay. Looks like the engine is running and it has oil pressure. Those are some of those key things too to look at when anytime you're buying something online, sight unseen, anything auction, is if they have the engine running in the video. Obviously look if they have an engine, if they have a video of the engine running, as well as an in-cabin view. And those are kind of the things I like to look for as one, oil pressure, voltage, is it idling, where is it at? This thing is sick. Oh, I would love to do a C6 Z06 one day. I will have one and I will make it stupidly fast. And this one is even really cool because pretty sure this is a Grand Sport, I think, or a limited one because it's got the fancy seats, steering wheel. It looks like it has some more of the nicer trim, heads-up display. This would be a sick car. It's worth $45,000, probably be outside of that $15,000 range. Anyways, that's kind of gonna wrap it up. I just at least wanted to show you guys a little bit of my process, how I find cars, what I'm looking for, and just how Copart works. I've had so many people come up to me and ask me like, hey, like, I don't know how you do that. Like, where are you buying these? Where did you find that? How'd you get that kind of deal? And obviously there's caveats to everything. Like, it is a salvage title. You got to deal with the branded title stuff and getting title work done, but you can find some deals if you know what you're looking for. That's probably going to wrap it up. The update with the truck. So I've got a guy who's been looking at it, a couple people who are interested, and potentially this weekend, which will be 4th of July weekend, should be selling it if everything goes to plan. If that's the case, then we will be buying ideally one of these cars really, really soon. So stay tuned. Again, apologies for the late delay and being MIA a little bit. Had a lot of changes in life, been moving, work stuff. It's been busy. Again, thank you so much for all the people that have supported me this far, for all the likes, the comments. And if you're new here and you want to see what I'm going to rebuild next, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Like this video, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on this buying process. Let me know if you have questions or comments on that. Happy to answer those. And always remember, anything can be fixed. We'll see you next time.